What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to another podcast. So in the previous one, my microphone was plugged in, but it was still recording the audio from the camera. This one, the microphone is now connected. I have tested it out. Now that I have an ear for what it actually, sounds like, it's much better quality. Obviously, built-in webcams or even well, first of all, built-in webcams on laptops don't have very good camera quality. Maybe the new ones do, but this one I bought on Amazon, excellent quality as far as picture goes, and but obviously the microphone's not really the best production quality. It's more for Skype and Zoom sessions and stuff like that. But we have this excellent microphone. So anyway, I'm having about 9 ounces of grapes as a snack. Had some grilled chicken and steamed veggies earlier. I just put a little bit of butter, not too much, like not even a serving. A serving's like 14 grams. I put like 8 to 10 grams. I don't, again, I've been tracking my macros more, but I'm not like when you're like if let's say for example like bodybuilders, or if you're just really into your macros and fitness, you'll track every single detail. I don't, but I have a rough ballpark estimate, and I know what works and what doesn't. And obviously some foods you don't have to track as closely, like let's say veggies or something that's low calorie like that. Like I'm not going to weigh out celery sticks or something that's like 10 calories and mostly water, or watermelon for the most part. I mean, now if it's like a high calorie food that's really going to put you over on your calories for the day, then yeah, I would recommend weighing it out. And you can get a kitchen scale, like an electric kitchen scale for like 20, $30. And definitely versatile. You can use it for recipes as well. And mine is pretty handy because it not only does it measure in ounces, it has grams, milliliters, fluid ounces, kilograms. I don't use all of those, but that's what it has. So pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, just eating these grapes, where you're going to get in some more miles. I like, and as far as weight loss goes, or fat loss, I should say, because I am putting on more muscle, but or toning up and adding more lean muscle. But as far as fat loss, if you just get in more steps throughout the day, I mean, like I was saying before, I started, really tracking, and I would say on days off, sometimes I'd only get 1,000 or 2,000 in, which is pretty terrible, right? Now, again, it's okay to have a lazy day once in a great while, but for the most part, you want to be on track 80, 90+% of the time. Um, and if you fall off, just it's okay. Just get right back on and keep, plodding along and stacking the compounding wins and keep on trucking. But as far as getting in more steps, if it was a work day, now this depends on the job. Like when I worked for Amazon, man, I was getting in 15-20,000 steps, I would say, on average. Probably like 17K on average. But man, the most I got was like 24,000. I mean, and I enjoyed the route before they changed my delivery route. This was like a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago now. But yeah, Christmas of 2021, I was doing the you know ton of packages. Obviously, it's Amazon for Christmas, right? Same thing with UPS, FedEx, all that. And I remember Christmas Eve I was delivering, and first of all, the town, again, the route I had was great. Kind of an upscale city, neighborhood, town area. Long driveways, and that, getting in a lot of steps, right? Constantly in and out of the van and stuff, and makes good money though, right? But it was Christmas Eve and it was raining. Like I was getting these deliveries done though, but my socks were like soaked by the end of it. So the next day or whatever, later that day, I think after my shift, I ordered some boots, like some duck boots, is what they're called on Amazon, and they're basically waterproof boots. They're pretty waterproof. I think they've worn out now because I went outside one time with irrigation, and a little water did start seeping through into my socks. But other than that, and as you guys know, wet socks are the worst, right? But yeah, man, I mean, so that was an easy fix. But anyway, a lot of steps in, and as far as the current job, if we're on call, like if we're on an active, like going to a pickup spot, then the job's mostly driving, like I was saying, but like obviously you get used to like how difficult, or I shouldn't say difficult, but just like the nature of the job when you're picking up someone and the family's there and all that. And sometimes the family's not there. Sometimes you're picking up from a hospital or something, or a care home. So it's not always a house call. And I went over, the 1 man, 2 man call stuff and all that. But anyway, back to the fitness side of it. Yeah, just get more steps in. Like my friend said, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Just walk around the neighborhood or your backyard if it's big enough. Like I'm fortunate enough, the backyard over here is I believe it's a 1/4 acre. So not quite big enough for running unless I do like they're called suicides where you run back and forth. I remember doing those in high school on the basketball court. You'd have to run. It started out level 1, right, and then this was I think 2, 3, or unless they counted back and then to the back to the start is 1. I don't remember. High school was like 10 years ago, guys, or even before that. It was middle school. I think we did that there as well. But yeah. Anyways, as far as in the backyard, walking. Sometimes it just if I put on like I would say 10-20% of the time I'll listen to music, maybe, and then the rest of the time, a vast majority of the time, I'm listening to audiobooks. Once in a while, podcasts, but audiobooks. I mean, it makes it go by quick. Like I said, I was reading Total Recall, listening to Total Recall by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and man, very very engaging book. Like that's the most engaging book I've ever read, hands down. So, again, would definitely recommend it. But yeah, man. Other than that, we're being consistent, right? That's what it's about, and becoming 1% better each and every day, and just putting in the work. So, you guys will see more. If you're following me on Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and all that good stuff, more screenshots of my. I've been tracking my weight, so I'm down to. Current weight is sitting at 218, 218.5. So I started off at like 226, which I believe is the most I've weighed. Yeah, I would say. I've never seen the scale higher than that, really. I mean, yeah, because I remember, I don't know, I'm trying to get down to 200, I would say, or 195. It depends, because I'm one of my friends, he's been going to the gym for years now, and he's about 195, good shape, has visible abs, muscles and all that, and he's about an inch or two taller than me. I'm about 6 foot, 6'1", so he's 6'2", I believe. And yeah, so again, it just takes time. You might not see results right away, and that's okay. You just got to stick with it. It's called delayed gratification. Everyone wants stuff instantly, which sometimes that can be good, and sometimes it just leads to having, not enough self-discipline or having a short attention span or whatever it happens to be. And again, with the reading alone, I mean, it helps you with your concentration. So does working out. It helps you a lot. Concentration, with the ability to focus, with your mental health, everything. It's not just physical. So, but yeah, man. So we'll see how body composition wise, how I look in the mirror, because I don't only go off of weight. I mean, you can put on 10 pounds of muscle and lose 10 pounds of fat, and the scale's not going to reflect a change, right? So obviously, even though I do weigh myself every day, I know that it's going to fluctuate from day to day just based on water weight or factors such as, if I've eaten. Granted, most of the time, or pretty much all the time, I'll weigh myself in the morning. So, after you use the restroom and all that, and then before you eat anything, drink any water, just hop on the scale real quick, preferably naked, so you're not, weighing yourself in clothes. And my scale, if you weigh yourself barefoot, it tracks more than just your weight. Like I said, it tracks all the metrics, body mass index. It'll track your body fat percentage, your subcutaneous fat percentage, how much visceral fat you have, which, like I said, is the body fat around your organs, the visceral fat, and then the subcutaneous fat is the fat that's just under the skin. So, and then it tracks your skeletal mass, your lean muscle mass, a lot of metrics. There's 12 of them on there. So, good info. I think the body fat percentage it's pretty accurate. I mean, I know they have these. It's like not an MRI machine, but you lay down on a table and it scans you, and it tells you your body fat percentage and overall, how much muscle mass and all that. So that's another way you can do it if you go to the facility for that. If that's at I don't know if that's at a doctor's or like a sports medicine place or whatever. I'd have to look into it. But no, for my needs, the scale, $20 scale, and it does everything you need it to do. So yeah. Other than that, guys, I kind of wanted to get on here and film another podcast because, well, first of all, so you guys can see how great the sound quality is on this compared to just the camera. And then, yeah, I'm gonna eat up these grapes right here, and then we are gonna probably get in the rest of our workout. I want to get some more push-ups in, some more. Again, if you don't have weights at home or you can't afford weights or whatever it happens to be, then and if you don't go to the gym, obviously body weight squats are great. Body weight exercises in general, push-ups, I enjoy those. I enjoy lunges a lot, and push-ups and lunges are probably my go-to for body weight exercises. Squats are good. It gets a nice stretch in the legs, and sometimes my knees will pop and stuff, but on the first rep. But yeah, you can make homemade weights at home. And as far as back to the calisthenics side of it, jumping jacks, pull-ups if you can do those, burpees, and then homemade weights. You can make weights out of water jugs, out of just different things. Like if you have a five-gallon water jug, that's 41 pounds. Or if that's too heavy, you can always decrease the amount of water in there. Or instead of water, you can add sand, Or if you want to make it permanent, you can add concrete. So get creative. Tons of ways to get in shape here and to make it happen. There's no excuses. And yeah, you got to take extreme ownership, extreme accountability. And you can't really blame other people. Now, sure, are some people more conducive to your goals, like they're more aligned because you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Like they say, if you spend time with 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th. If you spend time with 5 successful people, you're going to be the 6th. You're going to be the average of those 3 to 5 people you spend the most time with. And that's just how it goes. Vast majority, 99% of the time, right? Because they're going to push you to either be better or they're going to hold you back, either directly or indirectly. And yeah, so you just got to keep on pushing and surround yourself with the right people, like-minded individuals. And not to say you can't have friends that like to party and all this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not here to judge anyone, but I'm just saying what works for me. And so anyway, other than that, again, the last podcast ran a little long, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I usually do 10 to 20 minute episodes. It depends. I know Nick Bear does, like hour and a half. Just again, if we start having guests on the podcast, that'll be great. That'll be cool. Maybe the girlfriend and I can. I know she has her own podcast. Well, she has one with one of her friends. So, I enjoy these. It's kind of a, we can just sit down, chat, and give you guys some updates, a little bit behind the scenes of what's going on. Whenever I'm not uploading some van content and all that, van life. We will have some van life content though coming to you guys, as well as some fitness content. Eventually, I don't know when this would be. It'd be cool because I did a half marathon in February of 2022, which is on, I believe it's on the main channel. But you can check this channel because before I started doing podcasts, I was uploading vlogs to this one. So, out of those two, you can, search for it. But yeah, I maybe train for a 10K, 6.2 miles, or even a 5K. I do like. I mean, the thing with shorter distances like that, like a mile, 5K, 10K, and you're trying to go for a PR, personal record. Your fastest time, you're pretty much going almost all out the whole time. Like you can't really get into the groove, the rhythm. Again, it's good to warm up before, but I mean, like just compared to like a half or a full marathon or an ultra. These 50, 100 milers or more, your body and your mind, you have time to really get in the groove, to be like, okay, I got to hone in here. I got to focus. I got to, the hay is in the barn. You got all the training done, and now you just got to execute. You got to put the results. You got to get the results, but you got to show up with the results that you've had from the training, and then go on to achieve, whether that's a marathon PR, an ultra marathon PR, or if you're like a power lifter, you're going for a new record on your lifts, or if you're a bodybuilder and you're training for either a men's classic physique competition. I believe on that one they only they only judge the upper body. Like you're wearing like board shorts or whatever, and it's not like professional bodybuilding. You're training they're judging everything, the symmetry, the size of your muscles, how toned they are, just a lot of different factors and variables there. Obviously, into bodybuilders today and training for the Mr. Universe and Mr. Olympia, which is like the highest one, the one that Arnold won 7 times. Well, a lot of them take steroids, but back in the day, in Arnold's day, they weren't seen as like, they were seen more as just like another supplement, like protein powder or something like that, as far as what I've read and researched. But nowadays, I mean, they're freaking huge, and I, me personally, I want to see how good, like how big and how good and toned I can look naturally without steroids. With obviously the correct nutrition, correct recovery, protein powder, or protein shakes, whatever, the correct macros and micronutrients, but done naturally. So like, and that takes time, and obviously you're not going to be a huge mass monster like they say with Arnold. In the 70s, they were saying like the men's physique, like they looked better back then because they weren't, now they have like bloated and stuff, and you can just look up pictures to see what I'm talking about. But like back in the day, it was even more so like aesthetically pleasing from what a lot of people say online, when you're looking up or when you're watching the old school bodybuilding and Mr. Olympia and the docudrama Pumping Iron, which came out in 1977, when he was training for the 1975 Mr. Olympia. So that's last year, like I said, that he competed until 1980, and then that was his 7th win. And but by then he was into making movies and all that, and made much more in movies than he could have ever made in bodybuilding. And of course, these days they got the Arnold Classic and all that. But yeah, man. Anyway, getting off track, off on a tangent. I'm gonna wrap up this podcast here, and otherwise we won't have a whole lot to talk about in the next one. So we gotta, always coming up with new material. If you want to send in any Q&A questions, I will, be glad to answer those, to do like its own dedicated video or whatever. And yeah, so anyways, if you want to donate to the channel, I have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. And other than that, keep on trucking, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.